when Vicky Kaushal stabbed and then he moved his hand. So all those things have been art directed in FX simulations, and
he enacted the whole thing. His actions, his expressions when he was moving those chains. We followed his expression that how the movement will happen. We also scanned Vicky Kaushal to add our elements into his body where he was getting tortured.
many people doesn't know about what happened actually with Sambhaji Maharaj. Many people don't know what Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj have done for us. I feel very proud to work on such kind of film. There are a lot of Maharashtrian people who have worked on this.
There was a sense of joy. So yes, it was emotional, but it was real. Hi, I am Shome Dasgupta. I head production for ReDefine Asia.
Hi, I am Somesh Ghosh. I am a VFX Supervisor in ReDefine Asia,
Today we are going to talk about
India's VFX revolution.
in the film Chhaava. For me, it was when Vicky Kaushal was fighting alone, when everybody was dying, and he was fighting alone before he got chained.
Yeah,
The whole anchor sequence was the money sequence for me.
yeah, that chains and everything was actually there. That was VFX.
The massacre, the whole massacre was
yeah. And
the
then,
highlight.
But I'll say with that also the Sangameshwar, what we have built in the forest and hiding it in the forest, that environment. It's a more foliage work kind of thing, and it's most, again, when it's come to simulations and foliages, it's the most hardest job things in VFX. So majorly what we did, we finded a lot of from help from Google and research about it, how the structure used to be, how the architect used to be, they used to dress up every small detail like a swords and all on the Maratha sides also, and on the Aurangzeb Mughal sides also. So according to that, we finded a lot of references to try to match it on the shot what Saurabh Goswami, the DOP, who did a fabulous job doing all the lightings match with that era, and there was Shubuda, a fantastic job they have done in the art department wise. So after that, we tried to enhance those things to make it more visually appealing and seamless.
Also, you have to understand, we are talking about, we tried to create two different worlds which are polar opposite to each other culturally. It was a whole lot of research of understanding their livelihood, their daily life, and how they used to act and live their life. We got a whole lot of help from the film research team. They gave us enough and more materials, and we kind of developed on it and started building it, trying to create that era both by doing practical sets, going to the actual location, and then how seamlessly we enhance it or extend it VFX wise.
From the film background, the research team, they found all these accessories, as in swords or knife, or say there was lot of like tents when they used to go to fight and all those, they used to create. It was majorly researched from the film departments, and that thing we adapted and we proceeded.
So the production design team, they created all those poses and all, and we took the reference of it, we photogrammetry the whole thing for 3D creation, and we created those in 3D to have the fights, the weaponry, and the art directed blood, splatters, and all those things.
Now if you go to Bhorwada, there is nothing kind of, you will find it out, as in they used to come and they used to stay there as in safety place. But that also again there was a small township where we took a drone footage, and then we created the whole environment, forest on it, and then the Bhorwada structures and the lake where everyone was fighting there, and the Maratha dead, where Sambhaji Maharaj was captured from there. Sangameshwar.
Yes.
That was really very tough to create and crowd multiplications and then putting all bloods, creating the set, enhance the set, and making it in night also. The night look feel is more important because day is always it's a one sunlight, but in the night there will be a multi lights, multi fires, creating that era. It was a challenge.
So, firstly, let me tell you, this blood splatters were not blood splatters. They are art-directed blood splatters. There were a certain flow to it. Like if you see the jungle fight, if you see the close-ups, the bloods were not flowing the way it should flow. So creating that, and
it's more of FX creating simulation.
Yeah, it's
and
oriented.
It's a design. When you see the Trishul, when Vicky Kaushal stab and then he moved his hand. So all those things have been art directed in FX simulations, and we created with
VFX.
And in the VFX, when you see all swords also, which we had nothing, there was no blood on it. Then we added on all the swords we added bloods.
When you're shooting, your blades, you can't have those sharp blades.
Sharp blades.
It's pretty blunt and a little, half. So removing that and replacing it with the actual sword, the way it looks, was the challenge. And then creating that massive amount of people fighting and those tents. And when Sambhaji Maharaj got caught and brought into the Mughal palace, and the way he was tortured, it was all created in a certain manner and in a certain choreographed manner, I would say.
Actually, this is never written anywhere. Like, no one knows about what happened with Sambhaji Maharaj. Actually, this has been brought very nicely with the director, and he has showed it very nicely what Sambhaji Maharaj sacrificed. In that also, if you see, there was the set they have designed of a tent, few tents. So we multiplied the tent from 10 to 100 or 150. There was horses, there was all those things that we have created with the simulations, the wind directions, the tents moving, the cloth moving, the dust moving, all those things. There was one gorilla fight when they start doing the fight sequence, and they decides, okay, which area all we will go and we will fight against the Mughal, when Mughal was coming inside the Maharashtra terror. So the first guerrilla war, they actually really shot it with the harness and all. Though we cleaned up, we added ropes, we added leaves falling, we added the trees behind it, a dense forest. So there are more crowds coming up from the trees, multiplications of those crowds for the guerrilla wars. So all those things has been created by in visual effects.
So everything what you see, I would say 80% of that was computer generated.
Yeah.
And 20% was practical. And that's where we brought our expertise. He enacted the whole thing. So it helped us to imitate his actions and follow through his actions and create those weaponaries which are going to be used. His actions, his expressions and all those things. That kind of helped us, or guide us rather. Like if you see Sangameshwar, when he was moving those chains or he was shackled, the expression, if you see, we followed his expression, that how the movement will happen, how he is going to react to the tortures what he is going through. All those things kind of help, and yes, he was brilliant on that.
Some elements has been given on set, then we replaced it because to match the timing, match the eye levels and all.
In fact, we also scanned Vicky Kaushal to create to add our elements into his body, especially at the last scene. where he was getting tortured, the blood flowing and all those things. We created his torso and we added that into the principal photography to show the horrific tortures he has gone through. Like when they were putting salt on him, the blood's flowing, the blood's oozing out and all those things.
So when I talk about the lake fight, when we were trying to get the arrows from the water coming out from the waters and all those things, so that took a lot of time to make it real. That droplet should fall accurate from the arrow. The ripples has to be accurate. How it should be not a normal ripple. Then there should be a splashes. So all those things which doesn't happen if we just put a button, and it doesn't work like that. But it has to be simulate, cache, see it, and it goes on till time it doesn't be an accuracy.
See, anything new which is natural, which we see on a daily basis, creating that and matching it with what you see every day is always difficult. Anything imaginary which we haven't seen, easier to build, easier to create, because there is no reference point. But somebody opening a tap and water falling in, it's a natural thing. So creating that, because people know how it falls.
I am a huge fan of Sambhaji Maharaj. So being in a Mumbai, so from childhood we are seeing about Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj. We are hearing the stories. We have the chapters, and then we grew on this basis in Mumbai. Telling about that, I feel very proud to work on such kind of film. So it's a very important subject. The many people doesn't know about what happened actually with Sambhaji Maharaj. Now everyone knew about it, being so popular. The movie has been popular about it. But many people don't know what Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj have done for us, what Sambhaji Maharaj have done for us. So there are a lot of Maharashtrian people who have worked on this, and they was really happy when they saw the picture, they saw their name, and they started adding in everywhere, and they were started telling about the Maharaj, and that emotions comes out.
So people got very emotionally attached to it, with the subject they are working on, with the kind of history they are creating, I would say, and there was a sense of joy. So yes, it was emotional, but it was real. It's a sense of pride. Pride for us to bring history to people who were unaware of it.
And pride for more than bringing those things, pride for me to work on such kind of, and got a big opportunity by director Lakshman Uttekar. His vision and his things, when he told me about it, and I brought it in accurate, and he was very happy once we delivered the things.
So we are working on Thama, we are working on Border, Ikkis. There are 2 more films which I can't disclose, which we are talking about. But this has been announced, so I can talk about it. We are working on Border 2, Thama and Ikkis. So that was pretty much the VFX breakdown for Chhaava.
Thank you for watching this on IGN India.